Okay. I just worked 12 hours. My back hurts from dragging this wagon around. Let's make something quick and healthy and delicious for breakfast. So, right here, you're going to see me digging through my countertop produce bowl and just trying to find stuff that's like looking a little bit sad and neglected and show it a little bit of love. The one that I'm pulling out of now is my refrigerator produce bowl. And there's some depressed parsley, a beat up peach. I chose the worst one out of the two. Some mushrooms, and a really upset green onion that I'm gonna have to groom a little bit. Ignore my vape. I'm a clean girl, I promise. Anyway, I'm going for like a baked avocado egg with like a pepper, mushroom, and onion hash. So I'm gonna grab 2 eggs, and I preheated my oven to 425, I think. Yeah, 425. I'm gonna season the shit out of these avocados because they're as fat as my ass, and if you only do a little bit of seasoning, the thicker parts of the avocado is just gonna be plain and taste like avocado. So I'm using my onion and herb Mrs. Dash. No, my chicken flavored Mrs. Dash. I'm so bad at this, I'm sorry. Some meat tenderizer and some accent. You can use MSG, which is what I really prefer, and some black pepper. And I'm just gonna crack the eggs into the little holes of the avocado. I really underestimated how small the hole was, so one of the avocados was very ugly, and I tried to like fix it up, but it didn't work well. But I ended up giving half of that to my dog anyway, because she's beautiful and she deserves the world, and she's a retired fat old lady. So I just re-seasoned the top of the avocado, but I didn't use the Mrs. Dash on the top of it because it was like a lot. I ended up cutting up my mini peppers. This was so hard to do with one hand, and my kid is sleeping, so she couldn't help me like record the content, but we thugged it out. It's fine. So I took my favorite pan, and I didn't put any oil or anything in it. I just kind of wanted to do high heat and dry the mushrooms out a little bit because nobody really likes, a soggy mushroom. So I just kind of kept checking on them, pressing the water out a little bit. And I just really wanted to show you guys like how much water actually comes out of mushrooms. So with high heat and no oil, you really get like most of the water content out of it, and you get a little bit of a crust on it. And I think it just holds like flavor a little bit better that way. And with this meal, I'm really just going for like a high protein, no carb, low fat, nutrient dense breakfast because I ate like shit at work because it was such a vibe last night that I was just too relaxed to care about what I was putting in my body. But I keep telling myself that I want to do like, a lot of healthier foods when I can remember. So anyway, in this pan, I did some olive oil, and I'm going to throw my mushrooms and onions and garlic and stuff like that in the pan. I did the usual, just sauteed it, sweated it down, and you'll eventually see me put the lid on the pan, which I know I over preach about, but it really does speed up the cooking process. I think this meal literally took me like 15 minutes to make, and you're just going to see how beautiful it ends up. I threw about a tablespoon of butter in there just to deglaze and add a little bit of fat to it. And then I'll start to season once everything sweats down a little bit. And in the middle of this process, I'm like checking on the avocados in the oven. I know a hot avocado sounds insane, but just like trust me on this. I feel like I haven't steered you guys wrong yet. And I feel like I seem like I know what I'm talking about so far, but as I continue to like record more content, you'll just see how I get down in the kitchen. But anyway, we added our meat tenderizer seasoning and the mushrooms back in the pan. I threw some accent in there. I'm really trying to go for a lot less salt, but do what you want again. Some roasted garlic and herb seasoning, and I'm just gonna soak up the oil and butter like that with the seasonings and stuff like that. And when you do that, you can see it kind of starts to thicken, and you don't end up with like a super greasy meal too, which I think is important. I added some Spanish olives and a lot of minced garlic because I just wanted some brininess or like a tangy flavor into this little hash I made. This was only like 5 peppers, a handful of mushrooms, and probably like uh, a fourth of a cup of an onion. There's my avocados. They came out so pretty. I did leave them in longer than I wanted because I was going for like a jammy egg, but it was still perfect. I nuzzled like the avocado into the hash and cut up a fresh green onion, which is like the top of my green onion. When I threw it in the pan, it was the whites because that's a little bit thicker and it takes longer. And then I used my kitchen scissors and chopped up some parsley on top of that. And you can just see how like the plate's coming together and it's starting to look really pretty and colorful and bright and fresh. And I took my favorite black truffle hot sauce and just drizzled that over the top because it's healthy and it just needed to be a little bit spicy. And I told myself next time when I make this that I wanted to add my cilantro sauce to it too. But of course, we had to grate some fresh parm over the top. And I'm almost out of Parmesan, and I'm so sad. And I don't feel like going to the store, but it's fine. And here is our finished product. It was really, really good. This was my first time making this. I've done a baked avocado before, but I think I'm gonna add this to like my weekly rotation. I cut up that peach and just ate it on the side with some lime juice just to add a little bit of sugar and cut like the flavors. But this video right here is to show you that I am not constantly eating like this, but I do try. And I'm so hard on myself with these meals because this is me on my way to work eating a slice of pizza. But anyway, if you try this recipe or try to tweak it or anything like that, let me know how you feel about it. But until next time, please enjoy your food and have the day that you deserve. Bye.